Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while since I've been here, and today I'm going to be talking all about taking breaks. Listen, we all are doing so much. We're doing everything that we can. We are being all the things. We are doing all the things. We are showing up for all the things. But in turn, when we're doing that, we are no longer showing up for ourselves. So this year has been a big year for me. Been doing a lot of reflection about my nervous system and reflecting on that nervous system. I've noticed things keep popping up when I'm doing too much. So I'd like you just right now to kind of think about where in your body is resonating your drama, if you will. So, thinking about, for me personally, I notice when things pop up in my life, all of a sudden they pop up in my body. And so for me, they really resonate in my heart. And that could be due to, being an empath, carrying so much and caring so much. Because believe it or not everyone cares as much as you do. And some people are able to just let things roll off their shoulders and not hit their heart center. I unfortunately am not one of those people. And I imagine if you're tuning into this, you're not one of those people either. So, what I would like to talk to you about and explore a little bit is taking breaks. This year, I have decided to calm down some things. And some of those things I've had to hit the pause button on. And oftentimes, when we hit the pause button, we feel like it's the end button. Now, what you have to remember is that not everything is for you at every time, but things may be for you that you haven't realized when it is their time. So, what I mean by that, for example, in a lot of the readings I give, I'll have people come back to me months later, sometimes even years later. One of my dear friends, Herman Keith, I gave him a reading years and years ago, and he's a famous muralist here in the South. And he said to me, Amy, all the things you said did come true. I just wasn't sure when or how it would happen, but it did. So, what I'm saying this is what you need to open your heart to is understanding that when we feel something uncomfortable in our body, we have to listen to it. It's our nervous system saying, this is too much. I can no longer continue to operate at this pressure, at this time, at this whatever it is, right? And so when we start tuning into our nervous system, all of a sudden we're tuning into our needs, our desires, our wants, and our capacity. Listen, in the past year, I have hosted a retreat for my students from all across the country. I just did that last week. It was incredible. I have created a couple online courses. I just finished up Manifest Your Biz. I help people, one-on-one with their business through business coaching, teaching them Chat GPT, how to create online courses. I have my clients for personal coaching. I also, have my clients developing their intuition or their mediumistic abilities and helping them grow in that way. Then I decided this year, you know what? I've been creating all these businesses for other people, helping people, create different kinds of income, passive income, etc. I said, you know what? I want a challenge. So during this kind of rest, I have created this year, so wild, you wouldn't expect it of me, but I love a challenge, honey, and I like to do something new. So I created a construction company and have been running what's the name is Lily Lux Rescreen LLC. and decided I wanted that challenge and I wanted to go outside of my wheelhouse. And I had been doing in the background some flipping and redoing homes with some other partners and my own home. And I realized there was a lapse that I wanted to fill. And that was in customer service and creating hospitable homes. So I dove into that. But with all of this accomplishment, with all of this work, with all of this transition, I realized the one thing I was not allowing myself: rest. And it took me up until the point of doing all these things at once, feeling overwhelmed, yet feeling invigorated. And so I had to say to myself, okay, if I want to keep all this work in flow, and if I want to keep myself in flow so I can vibrate high in all my different roles, I need to figure something else out differently. And how I knew it was becoming too much is one of my number one nervous system triggers or responses, I guess you could say, is my heart. So, as I said, being an empath, being a medium, being all those things, I land in my heart. My pain, my suffering, my overwhelm, my joy, my happiness all lands in my heart. And when I land in that heart space, oftentimes it's when it's too much. And I started having heart palpitations daily. I had to go see my cardiologist. I had to do all the things. I had to try and get on meds, this. And I realized the cure was me. And the cure was rest. So I've done so much in the past couple years of reinventing, recreating, being, and embodying all these separate personas. The personas of mom, that's my number one, right? So with mom, I'm the homeroom mom, okay? With mom, I'm the one who helps my little whatever's going on. I'm the chauffeur. I'm the boo-boo kisser. I'm all the things. And it's my number one role. So everything I do supports and facilitates the growth and fulfillment of that role. Then there's me and my family as a wife. And as a wife, I have to go through these trials and tribulations of relationships, of adhering to norms while also showing flexibility for growth within that marriage, right? Then there's the role of the persona of Amy Dascola medium, someone who's helping and healing people and allowing people to see that their truths are their reality and their blessings. And then there's, the coaching side, the business side of that business, allowing people to see and expand on those full potentials. And then I decided I wanted something new, and to bring in this new energy, I started Lily Lux Rescreen, something totally outside of my wheelhouse, but at the same time, something so aligned. I've run businesses. I understand the remodeling process. I understand the need and desire to serve people in all capacities. And so I want you to see that through all these roles, there's also the teacher in me, teaching, allowing, expanding processes, and learning myself. Then I also realized I can be none of these roles, none of these personas, if my energy is gone. So I realized through my nervous system shutting me down, this too shall pass. However, you need to rest. You need to restore the energy inside of you if you want to fill and continue all these personas. So what I'd like to challenge you right now is to ask yourself, where can you incorporate rest into your daily life? So for me, one of the things I had to do was shut off my social media for a while. I had to shut off that persona and understand that, guess what? I've already built up enough clientele and resources to continue growing my business and functioning my business while not having to give the energy all to something that is draining me. So, what I'd like to challenge you right now to do is write down or think or whatever you're doing one of your biggest drainers. So, what is draining you? What feels like too much? Now, I'd like to ask you, what is your biggest filler? What just gives you all the energy in the world that would allow you to keep going? And I realized doing this exercise, my biggest drainer was social media. So I had to take a break, not to say I'm not ever going to go back, not to say, I'm burning the house down, but instead just to take a pause for myself. And it wasn't something I needed to announce. It wasn't something I needed to do. It wasn't something I needed to be. It just was something that I am right now. I am resting. We think about, the season of winter and that coming on right now. We're all starting to tuck our energy in a little bit closer and understand that rest is needed. This is the time of year to rest and revive. So if you can, what is the one space in your life right now that deserves rest? You know what I've been doing? Instead of doing a million things when I start my day, I go drop off my Sophia, I come home and I rest. I rest for 1 hour to start my day. And when I'm able to do that, I'm able to reset my nervous system, allow myself a little pause before the day starts. And another thing I've been doing is at night, I've been noticing I wake up, honey, at 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning, thinking about the craziest shit in the world that I don't need to be worrying about. So the other night, I, was up at 4 or 5 a.m. thinking about all the things I need to do and all the things I'm worrying about. And I went to my guides and past loved ones and I said, listen, if I can ask for any gift from you, it is a quiet mind and rest. So now I've noticed every time I'm waking up at 5 in the morning, I do the same ask. And guess what? I fall right back to sleep. And another thing I've implemented at night to kind of calm that is to go through my to-do list for the morning. Okay. And so I pull up my little calendar app. I'm very organized in there, look at all the things, and then think about any issues that might arise. And then also think about the times I'm going to take breaks during the day. This small practice has really helped me to not have that inner anxiety, to not have that, freak out at the 5 a.m. hour, and instead has helped put rest and organization as a priority. When we are organized, our brain is seeking those patterns, right? So when we're organized, the brain's in flow. When we are disorganized, we are again seeking structure. So when our brain is not allowed to seek structure, it is in disarray. So please, if you can, over this next couple weeks going into the holidays or whatever you're going into right now, I'd like you to think of some practices that you can incorporate rest, whether it's 10 minutes a day of unfiltered rest, not thinking about your to-do list, not thinking about why you're not good enough, who you aren't, who you are, whatever it is. Just allowing 10 minutes to, if you can, an hour of rest and thinking about some strategies to incorporate all you're doing into all you're doing. And what I mean by that is allowing yourself grace to do all the things you are doing, allowing yourself praise for rewarding yourself for all the things you're doing, and allowing yourself breaks in it so you don't get burnt out, so you don't feel overwhelmed. I hope that was helpful. And I hope that you can find some grace for yourself this season. And if I can be of any help in any of my services, whether it's through a reading, coaching, or if you need a little rescreening in your life for your pool enclosure, call a sister. Listen, don't allow anyone to limit your limitations except you. And know that when your nervous system is saying it's too much, listen, it is too much. So incorporate rest and relax a little bit. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day and keep taking care of yourself.